expansion. That's all
Punch in
good.
my credit card details. £2,000.
Yeah.
There you go, Blizz. Thank you.
I just boosted like 15 characters to level 90 just so I could experience this.
Yeah, and I also did some account sharing a method to get them some more some druids. Actually, I bought them some druids so they can play with those in 6.1 in their brand new garrison with the new the new loading screen, which I'm pretty sure they put down as a feature.
Yeah, no, it is. It's like it's actually highlighted here as a new loading screen. It's like content, it's playable content.
Wow. So yeah, so you've already got ingrained from BlizzCon 2013 these great ideas, and then the game comes out and it's got them severely watered down.
Mm-hmm.
And if they are going to rush out patches like 6.1, this drivel that's coming out tomorrow, Wednesday, or today and tomorrow, if they are going to do that kind of stuff, then what is even the point in playing an expansion if they're going to rush them out once a year? To me, that would actually put me off WoW more, because at least with an expansion being 2 years long, I feel as I've got time to grow into the expansion and to experience all the raids properly. It's just going to be like speed dating. If they kind of wash it out once a year, it's just going to be like speed dating. Okay, so quickly, you sit there, you sit there. Right, she's 7.0. She's going to bring with it a 6-boss raid, okay, and she's also got 2 dungeons. Say hello. What do you like? I can't talk. Sorry. Right, drag it away now. Right, this is lady 6.7.1. Okay, she's going to bring with her no raids. Don't hold that against her. She's going to bring with her 3 dungeons though, and a new daily based isle. Okay, so I'm going to. No! Come on. 7.2 here. Look at 7.2. Wow, she's got the biggest raids out of all the guilds. I know you like raids. She's got a 12 boss raid there, and that's going to tie you over because you know that lady over there. Yeah. She's 8.0. That's what it's going to be like, and it's like, yeah, but I didn't get to talk to 7.1 properly. 7.1 as she is so last expat because it's all about 8.0 now. You're not gonna feel as if you've got any time to settle in.
Or settle in with the one piece of content that it comes with, you know.
Which, put it this way, we are getting to the point in 6.0 where we definitely need a new patch now. Yeah. There is not enough. With the dungeons becoming... And let's just... If we totally put any cynicism aside and we looked at this just from a very kind of meh position, dungeons are now irrelevant. You can't say dungeons are still relevant. You can just... Everyone can agree now. Nobody's going to gain any benefit from dungeons unless you are almost like a brand new player who is experiencing WoW for the first time, and you're still trying to develop your level 100 character. You're still a few pieces of gear off. Or, and I hate to bring this in, you're onto your 15th ult by now. And you might want to just try and sneak something from a heroic dungeon that's going to push you into LFR. Other than that, they are content which is passed us by. The reputation grind, which we have in 6.0, is inane. Yeah. It is absolutely inane. You can't say, have you got your laughing skull or your shattered, whatever it may be, I can't remember, Shatari defense, I think it is, reputation yet? No, because I don't want to spend 58 fucking hours getting from neutral to friendly because they're all giving me 2 rep or 4 rep. Yeah. That's an inane way to get reputation.
Ooh.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Like, welcome to every argument where you say there's not enough content in the game. It's like, oh, well, have you done Mythic on, like, 5 different tunes, and have you got reputation with everyone? It's like, exactly. Yeah, that's fun. That
4
sounds great.
levels of raid difficulty.
Yeah, that sounds great.
What is that? And going back to 3.2, or 3.1, I should say, when Ulduar came out, you had Ulduar, which was so cleverly designed that you were in a boss fight on normal, and you could make a decision to do something in that fight to push it to heroic. So you're fighting, let's say, Mimiron.
Yeah, the button.
And you decide if you're going to press the button and push it into heroic. Or if you're fighting Little XT, and Lil XT exposes his heart, and then you've got, right, guys, girls, we can either not kill the heart and continue to do this on normal, we just DPS it, but obviously it still affects the health going down, or we smash the heart down and we push it into heroic. That is such an organic way of tweaking a boss fight. Such an organic way. The game registers, you push the boss into heroic mode, adjusts the rewards accordingly. Or whether or not you chose not to push it into heroic mode, and therefore just kept it normal. So you had stuff like Ulduar that had
Innovations?
difficulty. Well, yeah, just one level of difficulty. You all went in on the same page. What you did when you were inside there, when it came to the boss fights, was entirely up to you. Like Yogg at the end, perfect example. Again, you have the four titans. Do you take them with you into the fight to give you buffs that will allow you to defeat Yogg easier, or do you decide to leave one of them still up and remove a buff, or two of them up and remove a buff, or three, or four? You know, such an organic way of choosing difficulty instead of going, right, we've got LFR, and if that's not good enough for you, we've got normal. But normal is the same as heroic, but it's just heroic's a little bit harder. It's got the same gear, but the gear looks a different colour. And then you got Mythic, and Mythic's like 20 people. So we like everything changes then, but it's got the shoulders. The shoulders are different. You know what I mean? It's just like, what the fuck?
Oh, they've actually spoken out against why they're not going to keep doing that Ulduar level of choosing your difficulty. They said that
It was innovative.
yeah, they said that it was actually kind of confusing for people not knowing exactly what to do to bump up the difficulty. Like a lot of people would just kill the heart in what's the thing's name? XT.
Little XT.
Yeah, and also I would also say they didn't know how to like create this stuff with every single encounter going forward. It's just a lot easier for them if they just have a menu tab that you just go click and then.
It's a lot easier for them if they don't want.
Pretty much. That's the name of the game right now, unfortunately.
Because you're too stupid as a player to either read dialogue that an NPC is giving you that will hint towards how to change it into heroic mode. Like if you had like Bran with you in Ulduar, and then Bran, when we got to, and he was like moving with us from boss to boss because we're going as a sort of a unit. It would have been even, you know, you had the followers, Bran and the followers, the expedition behind. It would have been really cool, but they were like sticking around at the edge while we did all the fighting. You know, because they're not fighters. Right, we're finished. Come on with us. And they're running through Ulduar with you. That would have been, oh my god, I just made Ulduar even better. But you know, you got to Little XT, and Bran was just like, all right, and here we are, fucking Little XT, right, he's right, cunt. And if you punch his heart out because he's a twat, then he will actually get even stronger. That's all they have to put. That's sort of a line of dialogue saying, if you kill his heart, he's gonna get really pissed and strong. And that's like, right, so if we kill his heart, we move it into heroic mode. Gotcha. Yep. And then you get onto the council, the Iron Council. And you're just like, if you leave Steelbringer up to last, that cunt's gonna fuck you up. You know, that's all they have to do to kind of like do that. But so we get probably onto your second thing, which is the more realistic of the two, which is CBA.
Yep. Yeah, it's just a lot easier, and you know, it's not as if people threw up a giant stink about it. People were just like, oh, you don't have that in the game anymore. That kind of sucks. It wasn't like, you know, fuck you, Blizzard, put it back. You know, I'm unsubscribing. Nothing like that. So they took that as like the community agrees that we are making the correct decision now.
Does the community agree that 6.1 is the correct way to go in a major content?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you can see all the likes that their video got. You can see,
the Twitter integration video.
Comment on the official like posts and stuff. You know, they're always, oh man, this is gonna change. My grandma wants to play now. She's excited. This is gonna be great. Yeah. Nah.
Yeah, I don't quite see that. I mean, the last time when I did the no content please we're well subscriber video, and I actually have a link to the Blizzard Twitter video right here, and currently it has 360 likes, 3,280 dislikes.
That's pretty fucked.
Yeah, so let's say approximately 10% of people say that's cool, 90% see it for what it is, which is just free marketing for Blizzard. because fuck you and proper content and supporting patches. So we are we the problem though? Are we the problem? Are we why we have 6.1?
Yeah, we every time Blizzard opens their butt cheeks and, you know, lets forth some brown justice, we're just like, oh man, it's delicious. Yeah, no, we're totally the problem.
Oh, feed me more.
Exactly.
Feed me more.
I'm actually looking at the Mr. Pandaria announcement trailer and how the like to dislike ratio was, and even that was still 50-50. People were still okay with it, you know. But this new trailer, I mean, 300 like 3,000. That's crazy bad.
Yeah.
People hate it.
Also, the video is unlisted, which means you have to have the link to watch it, and they're going to be providing this link on websites which support Blizzard wholeheartedly and impartially. Yeah. They're going to go up on those websites, which are actually, you know, obviously pro World of Warcraft websites, as well as their own. So these aren't Joe Blogs who's come from, you know, who's just come on to start trolling your vid, Liz. This is going to the community almost directly. And this is the community kind of reaction to this sort of dross. Now, do I do a lot of tweeting about World of Warcraft? Yeah, because that's my channel. I do a fair bit of tweets that pertain to World of Warcraft. Would it be easier for me to click a button in game if I do something like when I do my mount farming, for example, and I get a mount? Would it be easier for me to click that button that says, "Oh yeah, I've just defeated the Lich King," and then I type, "and I got invincible," and then tweet it out? A little bit, absolutely. No, I'm not gonna lie and say no. It's gonna be a little bit, but it's what they've set up. It's all the predetermined text which has been set up that so people can just go click done and not think about having to write a tweet. It's that predetermined text which is going to hashtag World of Warcraft, hashtag Blizzard, hashtag, you know, whatever hashtag they want to fucking hashtag. That's just pure promotional material,
pretty much.
And how much effort does it take to integrate that? Because obviously they've got to work with Twitter to integrate it. So there's got to be probably the vast majority of developers' time for 6.1 has been communicating and developing this fucking Twitter integration instead of going on content for us as players. It's how can we get this? We're going to put all our time and effort and shit into this self-promotional tool, which about 4% of the community will actually get any legitimate benefit from.
Well, I might actually give Blizzard the benefit of the doubt here. You know, as much as things have gone horribly wrong in the past, and you know we've seen their track record.
How many times do we say that?
Yeah.
Gotta give them the benefit of the doubt here.
When Wrath was out and the Argent tournament patch came out with the really crappy raid where it was all set in one room, everyone was like,
I like that.
Well, a lot of people didn't.
I admit I'm in the minority.
So when that happened, a lot of people were saying like really shit things about Blizzard. You know, like, you know, what the fuck have you guys been doing? You came out with Ulduar, and then you came out with this, you know, crap stain. Like, what have you guys been doing? And it was only at the end when you saw how much content was in ICC, and you saw that they had the 3 extra dungeons in addition to this big raid, that you realized they were doing that instead of doing anything for that patch. So, I think. As much as it kills...
I think it was quite innovative. I think it's just quite different. I mean, if all raids were exactly the same, we wouldn't really get anywhere.
Yeah.
The Argent tournament was what the Argent tournament was. It wasn't just a raid, it was a raid in a dungeon. It wasn't just a raid in a dungeon. It was a raid in a dungeon, and this whole ethos around it, with the actual tournament itself, with the jousting and the jousting. The jousting, and then going off to not Stranglethorn Vale, I forget what it's called, by Undercity, and finding out who the black, you know, horse black knight was and all that, and then defeating him and all this kind of stuff. There was a lot of kind of story and lore and effort and all that put into it, and they were just like,
Del Nadras.
Danger Dolan. From shameless motion control knockoffs to games made by
right, you know, as opposed to not being lazy, but they're just like, right, what if we experiment and just have some sort of gladiatorial raid where trash actually doesn't make sense here, you know, where it's literally we're determining the strength of who are the bravest people which need to get through. Love it or loathe it. You know, a lot of people don't like it. I was one of the few that liked it. Because I just thought it was something different. I saw it for what I thought. When we talk about giving Blizzard the benefit of the doubt, I saw it for what I saw it at, which is not just a lazy raid, but because it had the dungeon attached to it and everything that went on around it. It was all part of the same thing. It was all part of the integrated thing. The only thing that I thought was shit was actual gear. The Alliance gear looked fucking wank, and the way that the mage, the warlock, and the priest, you know, the sets, the cloth sets, the mail sets, just look different, just slightly different colours. That is the only thing that I had the problem with. If they had their own individual tiers, I seriously think if they had their own individual tiers, they probably wouldn't have been the outcry. I think a lot because of everything was reskinned for each cloth. I think that had an impact on people more often than not. But I saw it for what it was, which is something innovative, something different, a tournament-based raid. Which, let's face it, a lot of other MMORPGs actually have full stop, as opposed to reams and reams of useless trash.
Well,
they have this sort of thing.
So, my perspective on that patch is that every raid and every dungeon, I mean, to be honest, the aesthetics doesn't matter to me that much. Like, it's just a raid. I am there for the encounters more than anything else, and I appreciated that there was no trash. So, I'm kind of talking from a majority kind of standpoint, where a lot of people didn't like it, you know, for whatever reason. My main point was that at the time, everyone thought that Blizzard were wasting, you know, their time. It was only later on that you realized they're working on all this other shit. So that's where the benefit of the doubt comes in. So you can only really wait until the end of the expansion and then review what happened based on, you know, what transpired. That's why I always come out with a, you know, why did this expansion fail at the end of an expansion? Because then I can look back and see exactly what took place. We all do the reviews when the expansion's over. We're kind of just speculating for the most part. And, you know, speculating based on this shitty ass patch, and that's exactly what it is. It's just a very small minor patch that has been, you know, classed as a big patch with minor changes and stuff. It just doesn't say very good things. Yeah,
2.1 brought Black Temple.
Yeah.
And then you had 2.0 with all the other raids around it. And then 2.2, don't talk about that. Exactly. And then 2.3 brings Sunwell Plateau. Fucking huge raid. And you got the whole of the Isle of Keldanas around it. So again, it wasn't just a raid, it was this huge hub with a shit ton of stuff to do. And if 6.2 is going to be the final patch of this expansion's life, to me, it highlights even more how 6.1 is fucking abysmal. And absolutely just ridiculous bit of thing to come in. Like 90% of this shit should be hot fixes for a start, not kind of patch fucking integration. You know, if classes are fucking broken, fix them. Shamans are fucking struggling, man. Shamans are struggling their fucking asses off in PvP, and you've got Resto Druids lolling the way through it. You know, and you're waiting 3 months have gone by, and you're waiting for fixes for that? You know, that is unacceptable bullshit. A lot of this stuff should have been fixed in the first 2 weeks of 6.0's launch. Or certainly should have definitely been got on with, and begin to, you know, right, we'll do a little bit of a hotfix here, next week we'll do another hotfix here, you know, and you just keep that going. But that's what the vast majority of this kind of thing is.
Good.
No, it's just about to say, with ICC, and you were talking about the majority of people not quite going into the Trial of the Champions business. Okay, and we'll take that as a given. You got to look what's behind it, and like you said, what's in front of it. What was behind it? Ulduar. Amazing Ulduar. What was in front of it? ICC. Fucking unbelievable ICC, with 3 dungeons to tag onto it, which irks me when Blizzard say, well, if we bring you out another raid boss, you lose 6 dungeons and your arm and another expansion. You know, fuck off, you prick. Stop saying that sort of nonsense. You've done it before in the past with less people. You're not doing it now because you're a lazy cunt. Move on. And then so you've got to look what's in behind and in front of it. With 5.2, with the Isle of Thunder, which again, raid with hub around it, and I think those sort of raids work the best. So that's why I think 5.2 was pretty good as terms of content and patches. Pretty damn good. There was some good progression with the Isle of Thunder and the Throne of Thunder raid. Some of it didn't quite hit the mark when you went underground, but when you got into, you know, the end of it and the beginning of it, it was all pretty good stuff. But what was behind it? 5.1, pretty shit. What was in front of it? 5.3, utter garbage.
Yeah.
So that's what you have to look at. With 2.0, at least you've got, you know, 2.1, you've got all your raids, you've got the Eye, you've got Gruul's Lair, you've got Serpentine, you know, SSC, I think another one I'm missing, Magtheridon, you know? You got all that, and then you get blah, blah, blah. You get your Black Temple. And then in the future, you've got your, you know, annoying, just forget 2.2 for now, because patches was still not quite working how they work nowadays. It wasn't until really Wrath of the Lich King that they suddenly became major content patches. And then you had Sunwell Plateau after it. So you got all this good stuff around it. If we're going to be looking at 6.3 as a potential, so we're looking at 6.2, which is the Iron Citadel, and we look what's behind it, 6.1, utter garbage. What are we going to be looking at? Well, history is now going to be telling us that 6.3 is going to be utter garbage.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we'll definitely have to come back and revisit our thoughts on, you know, why the 6.1 is so bare bones when the expansion's kind of over. We should probably wrap up the video soon. Did you have any final thoughts on this awful patch?
Yeah, I mean, final thoughts on this is it's not just that it's a bad patch to me. It's about, it shows to me how little Blizz actually give a shit about us as players. Because if I was a developer, and if somebody with any sort of level of responsibility within Blizzard, and this is what I was offering to my fan base, who pay money to play my game, as any sort of passable content, I would be ashamed of myself. I literally would be utterly ashamed of myself. And it doesn't matter if 6.2 is, you know, mind-blowingly amazing. This sort of thing doesn't come out. You know, you don't sacrifice one patch to make another patch better. We're legitimately coming to the edge, the realistic edge of life of content in 6.0. Not everybody raids, so if you don't raid, you're probably in a worse situation. But we are definitely coming to the end now of the legitimate, genuine lifespan as 6.0. This is not even good enough. It's not even beginning to get good enough to offer anything.
It's not just that, but we have to wait a certain amount of time now before the next patch. That's
3 months.
Yeah,
4 months.
So we're going to be dealing with the concept we've got right now for quite a while, and that's kind of a problem.
Yeah, because we know a raid's coming in 6.2. Blizzard have already said that. We know that's coming. And with the fact that they've also let loose now that Tanaan Jungle's going to be 6.2.
Yep.
So that's kind of slipped out. And I think that's kind of purposely slipped out because people are just so pissed. Because a lot of people thought Tanaan Jungle was going to be 6.1. But I thought 6.1 was going to be your Falaron. And your places like, you know, Falaron in the northeast and then the little island in the southwest is a kind of almost Isle of Giant-esque type of place. So that's what I thought we were legitimately looking at. This is abysmal. It's legitimately abysmal. It's shameful because it's just showing that they don't care about their community. They don't care. They care about your money, but they don't care about what you play.
So to sum up, it's not so good.
Sum up, it's amazing. 10 out of 10. Game of the year patch.
Okay, we'll have to agree to disagree. Danger Dole.